What if I told you that the moon, the thing you see shining above you every night, might not be natural at all? That it wasn't formed like other planets and satellites, but instead is a hollow object, a machine, or worse, something that has been watching us since the beginning of time. For as long as civilizations have existed, the moon has been a symbol, a source of light in the darkness, a calendar, a guide for sailors. But there is something strange most people don't know. Many ancient cultures have no records of the moon at all. In some myths and manuscripts, there are descriptions of a time before the moon appeared, as if one day it simply showed up in the sky, massive, perfect, and unexplainable. Mainstream science says the moon formed billions of years ago after Earth collided with the giant object. But conspiracy theorists argue that this story doesn't hold. The moon is too perfect. Its orbit is so stable it's nearly impossible by chance. It rotates just enough to always show us the same face. And here's the strangest part. The moon is exactly the right distance to perfectly cover the sun during an eclipse, as if someone placed it there deliberately, like a mask. In 1969, during the Apollo 12 mission, NASA discovered something they never explained. When astronauts released a module and crashed it onto the moon's surface, seismographs they had placed there started recording something incredible. The moon rang like a bell, not for a few seconds, but for over an hour, as if it were hollow. Scientists admitted this, then went silent. If the moon is hollow, what is inside it? Empty space, an ancient machine, or something waiting to wake up. Astronauts themselves reported strange things they weren't supposed to share. Buzz Aldrin once hinted that they were followed during Apollo 11. Mysterious lights moving alongside their capsule. Other astronauts spoke of shadows on the surface, too large to be rocks and too geometric to be natural. The official explanations? Optical illusions, reflections, fatigue, always the same excuses. But when the same stories come up over decades from different people, maybe it's not coincidence. Some believe the moon is not a satellite at all, but a giant spacecraft, a station placed in orbit by an ancient race long before us, designed to watch everything we do. Inside it could be technology beyond our understanding, cameras, weapons, or even an entire civilization observing us from above. Sounds like science fiction. Maybe. But think about it. Every night we look up and only see the moon's surface. We never see what's behind it. We never see what's inside. And there's more. Why does the moon's cycle fit so perfectly into our lives? Its 29.5-day cycle matches our biological rhythms almost too well. Sleep cycles, ocean tides, even the menstrual cycle in women, all synced with the moon. It feels less like coincidence and more like design, like programming. Then there's the part that gives even skeptics chills. During missions in the 1970s, astronauts reported hearing strange music while orbiting the far side of the moon, the side with no communication to NASA. These recordings were hidden for decades. When finally released, NASA dismissed it as radio interference. But many believe the sounds came from inside the moon, from whatever is living or operating there. And here's the ultimate question. Why? If the moon was placed there, who put it there? Some say aliens. Some say a forgotten civilization that existed before us. But the darkest theory of all? That the moon is not a machine for watching, but a prison. That it isn't cameras hidden inside, but prisoners, beings that must never be allowed to escape. The moon doesn't protect us by accident. It contains something we're not supposed to see, something that is still alive. So the next time you look at the moon, ask yourself, are you really staring at a dead rock, or into an eye that never blinks? What if the moon isn't the moon at all? What if the glowing circle we see every night is nothing more than a mask, cracked, trembling, and barely holding together? Astronomers admit the moon doesn't shine on its own. It only reflects, always reflecting, always borrowing. But here's the question no one asks. What if it reflects more than sunlight? Photographers in Chile during the 2019 lunar eclipse captured strange distortions, shadows that bent in directions physics couldn't explain. Some frames even showed double outlines, like another shape flickering beneath the glow. It didn't look like rock, it looked like fabric tearing. And then there are the disappearances. In Arizona's desert towns, entire hikers groups have gone missing under full moons, their last GPS coordinates forming perfect arcs across the map. When plotted, those arcs mirror the moon's movement through the sky. Too precise to be coincidence, too deliberate to ignore. The strangest reports come from witnesses who insist the moon sometimes looks broken. In rural Japan in 1972, villagers swore they saw jagged lines running across its face, like cracks in glass. The next night, the surface looked normal again, as if something had repaired itself overnight. NASA called it optical illusion. But illusions don't appear on photographs developed by 3 different people in 3 different towns. And there's another anomaly no one likes to talk about. In 2017, during an eclipse observed from the European Southern Observatory in Paranal, Chile, meteorologists recorded a sudden 5-degree drop in temperature along a narrow corridor stretching hundreds of kilometers. A corridor that matched the moon's shadow exactly, as if something more than darkness had passed over the Earth, something colder. So maybe the real conspiracy isn't about how the moon got here, or what's inside it. Maybe it's about what happens when the mask finally breaks. Because one night, the cracks won't close, the surface won't heal. And when that happens, we won't be staring at a silent rock reflecting sunlight. We'll be staring at the stage it's been hiding all along. And at what's been waiting there, patiently, staring back, not watching, not protecting, rehearsing.